Hi, and welcome to episode 3, where we go into a slightly deeper dive of Epic Universe, including the rides and what we ate. Hi, welcome to the continuing adventures of Two Gray Mice. I'm Meg.
And I'm Rob.
And we are Two Gray Mice. Welcome to episode 3
of our grand podcast adventure.
Today we're going to get more into Epic Universe and the nitty-gritty of our adventure there, where we ate, the rides we went on, and the hotel we stayed in.
Yes.
So we're going to start with where we stayed.
We stayed at the Stella Nova. And I do mean beautiful. I mean, inside and out, I thought it was very well done. What were your feelings on the room? We'll start with the room.
The average size hotel room. I mean, it's their prime value class. So it's Stella Nova, Terra Luna, and the one we stayed at last time.
Cabana Bay.
The Cabana Bay. Thank you very much for that help. So basic rooms, 2 queen beds. That's the only room they have. They only have 2 queen beds. There's no suites. There's no king bedrooms. But I loved the photographs.
I loved the photographs. I loved the way the room was laid out. For some of the rooms, and ours was one of them, the hotel has a curve in the middle of it. So you're staying in a room that doesn't have parallel walls. That was really kind of cool. I loved the big bench seat. That was very neat.
With like the half table.
Yeah, the half table, the half dresser. It was, it was nice. It was a very nice room. I thought a good value for the money because it's new. Everything had a very nice fit and finish to it. I really had no complaints about the room whatsoever.
No, it was very comfortable. Good sized bathroom. The sink and the mirror is outside of the bathroom, so I could be getting ready or doing my hair while you were in the bathroom.
Correct.
The only thing I didn't quite understand was the glass wall.
Yeah,
with the curtain.
The funky glass partition that I think. I mean, for me, I think the curtain's an afterthought because people were walking into the glass, but that's me. But it's a really odd little, like 3.5 foot wide, floor to ceiling piece of glass that separates the sleeping area from the sink and the bathroom. But again, the theming, both in the room and in the individual corridors, exciting. It was a fun place to stay.
Yeah. I mean, the lobby is small, but and basically sheer white with space photos on it. Nothing very exciting by it, but yet at the same time kind of interesting. The furniture had a very
those
1960s modern
those funky chairs. The funky angular chairs with the spacey.
And the bar was straight ahead. That was very nice. What did you think of the quick service restaurant?
I really thought it exceeded my expectations going down there. When you originally told me that we were going to be able to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as poolside snacks while we were there, I was like, okay, a standard hotel fare. I really feel that it was a very varied selection. I could have stayed there for the 4 days, and I don't think be bored with the selections. I thought the food that we got was well prepared. It surprised me in an awful lot of ways.
Yeah. We basically only ate breakfast there. I think we both got something different every morning.
Yeah, and there was one late night nosh.
Right, the one late night nosh. I only had problems with my one meal, that one breakfast. I'd ordered the waffles and they weren't quite cooked all the way through. And that was the only thing I really saw for us. And I heard a couple of people was still a little inconsistent out of the kitchen.
But we saw that. I mean, truth be told, we saw that throughout our adventure, because they are, at that point in time, they were still in their test and adjust phase. So you're trying to get used to the flow. You're trying to get used to the rhythm. I think more than anything else, I will say, anyone we encountered while we were there was exceptionally pleasant, and nobody seemed harried. Nobody was brusque. Just kudos to the folks who were training the staff. I thought they did a very good job.
No, all of our staff interactions were wonderful, from the woman who checked us in to the vacation desk, because we had to activate some of the tickets. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was getting a text every day from the head of housekeeping to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, I mean,
which you don't expect at that price point.
No, you expect it when you're like on a Virgin cruise.
Or if I was staying at the Helios, I would expect it.
Correct, but for a mid-level establishment, no, I really felt they went above and beyond.
Right, because I think we paid. I think it was only $200 a night. I should know, but I'm not sure off the top of my head.
If I remember correctly, it was $220 a night.
Yeah.
And like I said, I thought it was well worth the value, considering that we were a 10-minute walk away from Epic Universe. It's a different story with the Terra Nova, which is the Stella's twin, because that one's on the other side of the roadway there.
Right.
So that's a much more difficult walk. But from where we were at the Stella Nova, I thought it was very good.
I think that once all that construction is done,
could be a different story.
I think it's still going to be a longer walk, but I think it's not going to be a dangerous walk, which I think it would be right now.
Right.
The pool is actually rather large. Lots of games outside to play, lots of places to sit, lounge chairs, umbrellas. I
thought a great mix between hard surfaces and soft surfaces. A huge sand area. I mean, by the looks of it, you could easily fit 500 people out there, and I don't think you'd feel crowded.
Right.
Had a huge benefit in the fact that it does have a fully functional bar. We did have drinks there.
Very nice.
The barkeeps were phenomenal. And there is also the outdoor quick service.
Right, which I never saw open while we were there, but it was not at full capacity or anything like that either.
Fitness club, other amenities.
Arcade.
Other amenities within the hotel. Yeah, I thought.
And like a 12-person hot tub.
Yeah.
That thing was huge.
That thing was gigantic. I think they've done a very good job with that hotel. And then the thing that, I mean, for me being the architecture geek, so when you see pictures of the hotels, they're all made up of these colored enamel tiles, but they have this iridescence to them. But the way they're arranged on the facade of the building, they sort of form a picture, if you will. We never noticed these small like facets within the facade of the building when we came back to the hotel that one night.
Oh, yeah.
They were all lit up, and they really looked like shooting stars.
Right, which are supposed to.
And I thought that was... And then there were the light fixtures. There were these very, very cool light fixtures in the lobby. As you approach them and as you move around them, because of the way the bulbs are in, and they're just, the single filament, but oriented in a specific direction. It's almost like the light fixture itself changes.
Right, because one night I looked at you and said, "Oh, that's bad. The light bulb's already out." And you're like, "No, just walk around it." And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, and as you walk around these fixtures, they sort of take on a different form, different shape. Really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and it's literally a 10-minute walk.
10 minutes.
To over to the park, or you could take the bus. There was always a bus there, I think almost every time we walked out. And of course, you could take a bus from there to the North Campus.
Yep.
The
to
older
City
parks.
Walk and to the other two parks.
Right.
And you can get those connectors both from the hotels, and you can also get those connectors right there at the entrance to the park. Really very convenient. Again, I think bus transportation wise, they've done an excellent job of anticipating moving people around and making it easy.
Yeah, especially once that dedicated bus lane is done. Okay, so our first night after we checked in, I think I said in the last one, went over to the Helios Grand Hotel to go to Bar Helios. The bar itself is gorgeous.
Bar is fantastic. Now we were outside. We spent a little bit of time roaming around inside, but we spent our time outside. We went there specifically to watch the fountain spectacle, which kicks off at 8:00. So we got our seats. We were sitting down from our vantage point, which we found out when we went down the following day to the park, and we were looking up at the hotel, and there's this big, huge emblem on the front of the hotel when you're looking at it from the park, and that's where we were sitting, right to the side of that. The bar inside now was very neat. Very neat.
I mean, there's constellations on the ceiling on the inside bar. There's little booths off in corners so you can be alone. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful experience.
There's a side room.
Yes,
if you have
like a little conference meeting room,
a large group, so the service, I thought the service was great. Everybody, again, very pleasant, very knowledgeable. Answered any questions that we had. I think we were hitting a change of shift towards the end of the time we were there, because it did take a while for somebody to come back and take our money. But I had a great cocktail. I'll admit it. I had a great cocktail. I had interesting twist on the martini called the Greek God. And it was delicious. It was, so as it states in the lead up to it, it's a dill and olive oil infused Grey Goose, caper infused dry vermouth. It's an infused cocktail. Interesting, delicious. I wanted to have another one. Another one would have been bad, but it was great.
Yeah. None of the specialty cocktails interested me. And I was jonesing for a margarita, so I asked for a house margarita, and it was perfectly done. It was very tasty. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this saying, but something we try to live by. It's 1 martini, 2 martini, 3 martini floor.
Yeah.
So, always keep that in mind.
And I want to slip this in now in case we forget to slip it in later. But a lot of times you go to these theme parks and they have these specialty cocktails, and it's a mix. And somebody's standing there and they're just pulling a handle. What we found, wherever we went on property, you had barkeeps. You had proper barkeeps at a full bar. So if you didn't like anything that was on the menu and you wanted something to your own tastes, you could order it that way. And again, I mean, that's a home run for me.
Yeah, because very often we're also used to, especially at, the Disney parks, you look at the drink menu and that's what you have available to you. You go to Olga's, you're getting a fuzzy tauntaun or the Jedi mind trick or whatever the case may be. And that's all there is available to you, or water. There's no other options. Where almost, even if it wasn't a full bar, they had something back there to make other things with. Even if it was just a vodka soda, you could have something else. So while we were there, we also had dinner. Now it's basically small plates.
Small plates.
You can call it tapas, but not really. But that small place hors d'oeuvre kind of thing. So we got the Wagyu beef sliders, which had spicy mayo, aged cheddar, charred onions, and arugula on them. And then we got the bluefin tuna, which had chili oil on them, capers, and they were just both of them were just wonderful. The beef sliders were perfectly done. I was a little nervous about them because I don't like anything spicy, so I was worried about the spicy mayo. It had a nice little zing to it.
It had a zing to it, but it was not.
But it was not like
a burn your mouth out kind of thing.
Not at all.
But both of the dishes, and you would say to yourself, well, it's bluefin tuna. How much additional taste can you give to bluefin tuna? Bluefin was delicious, absolutely fantastic.
And the chili crunch oil, I don't know what it was. It was wonderful.
It was. It
was
great.
Verde. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, so we were in a super nice environment, excellent drinks, good food. Got to see the spectacle.
And get a no review of the park before we walked in the door.
Yep, and a great first night.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, and I would go back there in a heartbeat. My only problem I had, just so you know, our relationship, I paid the bills, was it was not cheap.
No, it was not cheap by any stretch of the imagination.
And it is their deluxe hotel. But I think it was more expensive than I've paid for in the other deluxe hotels.
But what did our night end up at? It was like 110?
125.
125. Okay.
So,
and that was with the gratuity.
That was all in.
Yeah, so all in.
And my 10% discount.
And your 10% discount.
Okay.
Can't forget that.
I mean, your drink was $22. My drink was $20. That's
it. Definitely be prepared for it to be on the pricey side.
Right. The beef sliders were $26. The bluefin tuna was $25. Now, we weren't overwhelmingly hungry, but these were not. This was not a meal either.
No, definitely not a meal.
If we were like looking for dinner, this wouldn't have cut it.
No.
We would have ordered yet another small dish. It would have been fine because we shared all this.
Yeah.
And just remember that because it'll become more important when we get to lunch later on in life. Anyway, so we get up the next morning and off to the park we go.
Off to the park.
We did not, we had the wrong opening time. That's what it was, right?
Yes, I think, yeah. So that was a slight snag. So we arrived an hour later than we planned to arrive. So a little bit of hiccup to the start of the day, but by the time we were in and we were moving, it was fine.
Yeah. We got there and, the person I spoken to at the hotel, because I did not check my app, bad travel advisor, had told me what time the park opened, which was the time the park opened, even though I had asked for when early entry was.
Right. So
we were an hour off. But we got there before the hordes were let in.
Yeah. The line was not as bad as it was.
No. And I believe, did we go straight to Burke?
No, because...
or no, we just walked around.
We just walked around because the only place that they were allowing early entry into was Nintendo.
Right.
Or Celestial Park.
Right. But I remember at one point where I thought no, it was Monsters.
Yeah. So we got into Celestial Park and we just started wandering around. And I believe...
as we walked in front of Dark Universe, they opened. So we were like, no one's here. And we just turned and walked in.
There was like this sucking feeling and we found ourselves in the Dark Universe.
So you come to the big portal, which everybody has probably seen in some video at this point in time. And we talked about it in the overwhelming feeling, the beautifulness of Celestial Park. There are 2 rides in Celestial Park, which is
the Constellation Carousel.
Constellation Carousel and Stardust Racers. The carousel is not. Did we talk about it last time? I feel like that's when I was telling you we weren't doing rides that day.
Right. Yeah. I think that's where you said, honey, you're going off script. Okay. So we'll talk about the Constellation Carousel. Big, huge, gigantic domed, building. When you get inside, it's so expansive. It's not your typical carousel. So all the animals are on poles. But these poles go up and down. There's no poles above. And, when you go to climb on the animal, you're like, why are there seatbelts? Well, it's going to bob you up and down about 6 feet. within the one huge turntable, there's 3 smaller turntables. While we were there were 3 different pieces of music that were playing, and it's programmed to move differently for each piece of music. So again, it's another one of those rides that you could go on several times and not see the same progression and hear the same thing. Very, very interesting, very well done. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it an awful lot.
All the animals, creatures take 2 people. Got on the same one. We probably looked very silly. There are stationary swans, right?
Yep.
That if you can't climb up on an animal or something along those lines, you can sit on those. You have to be 48 inches to ride by yourself.
Yep.
If you're shorter than 48 inches, you need to have a companion with you. And I believe there's actually 4. We only saw 3, but I think there's actually 4 different songs. And one went pretty quick.
Yeah, the one went pretty fast.
I was like, oh, they're really going up and down a lot.
But, talking about the height restriction, the fact that most of the animals are 2-person is a great parent-child kind of ride because, the 2 of you are doing it together. Kids right in front of you. And it's fun. It was a fun ride.
Yeah. Celestial Park is also home to the 2 large stores.
Yep, 2 large
souvenir stores, which is a souvenir store. I mean, they're beautifully decorated. They're very unique looking, but it's a souvenir store. If you've seen one, you have seen them all. But
most of the big restaurants are also in Celestial Park.
Correct. When we were there, the Blue Dragon was not open. It opened the day after we left.
The day after we left.
We were looking forward to going that. We had lunch that first day at Pizza Moon.
And so we had heard a lot about Pizza Moon going down there. And I will say this, the theming's fantastic. The layout is very, very interesting. We were in the side room that's off the main room. There's all this animated stuff that's going on around you. They were still really trying to work out the whole place your order, get your pie kind of thing. Because while our pie tasted delicious, it was a little too cool for my taste. And we did notice a little bit of a shortage of staffers, and then all of a sudden there was this glut of staffers. So again, I think it was another one of those, we're still in preview, or we're still working out our timing, from taking the order to actually delivering the hot food. And we did feel sort of neglected at one point there, waiting for somebody to come back.
Yeah, because they're all what they call quick service restaurants, all through the park. But what it actually is, you can mobile order on your phone before you get there, or when you get there, when you sit down, you can order your food. You mobile order it, and then it's brought to your table because when you scan the number on your table, so they know where to go.
All right.
Pizza Moon is very popular, so there was a long line to even get a seat. Then it got longer after we sat.
Right.
Then we waited quite a bit to get the pizza itself, which was delicious, but yet cold.
I won't say it was cold. Don't say cold.
It wasn't cold. It was room temperature.
Cold pizza is something you have the following day.
It was room temperature.
Yeah.
But delicious. We had gotten the Nana Rosa.
Yeah.
Which is tomato sauce, fresh mozzarella, heirloom tomatoes, fresh basil, and can you say that word?
No, I'm not even going to try. I'll insult somebody.
Anyway, that was $17.99.
Scagliatella? I'm sure that
it's a kind of cheese because it was vegetarian.
Yes, let us know how we're mispronouncing that.
Yes, someone. It was $17.99, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. Very tasty. I just wished it was a little warmer.
Right, and definitely, and fed 2 of us. I mean,
yeah. For
definitely
sure.
This is not a one-person pizza.
It's not a one-person pizza at all. No. I found myself filled up when we departed.
And this was the closest pizza on the menu that's a cheese pizza.
Yep.
They have some unique,
very, very out of this world unique pizzas.
Yeah.
But so you're going to see this throughout the park when you go to these restaurants. There's going to be the old QR code on your table, and you're going to scan that, and you're going to get the menu, and that's how you're going to place your order. Some people find it burdensome or cumbersome. I don't think we ever had an issue scrolling through any of the pages. But it's, it is a little impersonal. You're placing the order and then a complete and total stranger's coming up to you with your order. And we did see when we were there, if you have a party of 4 or a party of 5, be prepared to tell people where things go because they're not going to know, like a traditional server would.
So it's like half a quick service.
Yeah.
So there's no waitress, there's no one taking your order, but yet you're being given real plates, real forks, real knives. Someone's clearing your stuff. Someone's bringing you your stuff.
If you have an issue during the meal, someone comes over and takes care of it for you.
Yeah.
So there is that sort of, staffing.
There are some staff places, of course, that are good old fashioned walk up to a counter.
Sure.
Now we're just going to talk about everything we did in Celestial Park because on all the days we wandered from land to land to land to land. We never really stayed in one spot, and we hit multiple lands on multiple days.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on the first day we decided to stop for a beverage, and there was an outdoor place, which right now I can't remember the name of because that's where I got your beer the day we saw the fountain show. But they didn't have any cider, hard cider. I'm a hard cider drinker. So she told us to go inside, and we did. It was the Metro Pub.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Strongbow cider, and you got a Crooked IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Cute little place. Another quick service. We could have gotten burgers and stuff too.
Yep.
If we were hungry at that point in time, but we sat at the bar.
And again, a full service bar with 2 knowledgeable barkeeps who were talking with the people who were sitting there at the bar. Very different for a theme park in my mind.
Yeah. Great little, respite for the heat and the air conditioning. Right outside, right by the Metro Pub is where the fake grass stadium like seating is around the main fountain area. Where the main fountain show is.
You're saying that like you're not really sure.
I wasn't really quite sure how to put it.
The fake grass?
It was because it's like a stadium seating, but it's not really stadium seating because it's only like 5 tiers. But
no, I mean the main lake lagoon, if you will, is circular in shape. There are a number of entrances. It's sort of like 3 risers that is set apart with these bands of grass and plantings at the intersections. Very, very beautiful, but a really cool place to hang out during the day if it's if the sun's not blazing. And that was where we watched the nighttime show when we came back the final night to take in the fountain show, and it was cool, very cool.
Very cool. The whole area, we saw a violinist while we were there who was entertaining people. There was bands playing in the band shell on the other end.
Yep, always live music.
Always
no
live
matter
music
where we went.
Playing someplace.
But also in addition to the pipe music that was throughout the park.
Yeah. So there's interaction in all the lands to some sort that you can watch, enjoy, not just rides.
Yeah. And it was interesting too. So as you're wandering around the park, the music isn't like blaring in your face. It's sort of a nice background, but it does subtly change from land to land as you come closer to a particular portal. It begins to take on, I guess the flavor of that land. Right.
The last place that we ate while we were in this particular area was the Atlantic, which when you look at it from the right angle on the outside, it looks like the world's largest aquarium, especially at night.
Yeah.
Because the way the fish move inside. So we had lunch there, and we sat in, there's 2 tiers, and we sat in the lower tier, so we had a nice view of the fountains because the fountains surround.
Right, so if you want to think of it this way, the restaurant actually has like 3 levels. You have the top level entry where you come in, and that's where the bar is. and the bar was a trip, very well themed. Then you go down half a level, if you will, to the mid seating, and then you go down another half level to the base seating. And what's really nice about that is no matter where you're sitting in the bar, you have a great view out the windows. You have a great view of the rest of the park. You have a great view of the stuff that's overhead. And the stuff that's overhead is, again, so inventive and so well done. Just imagine 24 stained glass fish, seahorses, and other marine life just slowly moving over your head throughout the entire meal. And as Meg was saying, when we were there for the final night and we were seeing the show, the Atlantic was all the way on the far side of the lagoon. It looks like this huge, gigantic fish tank with these glowing fish inside.
And when you're
so cool
inside, I don't know if you kind of like the bar is all decored like a ship.
Yep.
And then as you go down each one, you're like going down into the water.
Yep.
In the decor. So it's very kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the service was wonderful.
Service was fantastic. I mean, top shelf.
Yep.
Top shelf. And the meal was super yummy.
Super yummy.
Super.
So once again, starting with drinks, I got the Rosemary Paloma. I like tequila, which was tequila, white grapefruit juice, lime juice, rosemary-infused simple syrup, smoked sea salt, and fresca, topped with rosemary, and a dried blood grapefruit slice. It was very refreshing, very tasty.
Super yummy.
Super yummy. Not sweet because of the grapefruit, but it had just a little touch of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And then what you have?
I don't know. You have to show me the notes.
Okay, there you go. There.
Oh, yeah. The melon and herb highball. Great take on the highball. St. Augustine New World Gin, basil and cucumber essence, watermelon syrup, and sparkling mineral water with a cucumber ribbon and basil sprig. Inventive, tasty. Would recommend it. Would have it again if I went back there. Although I would probably try a different cocktail because I like to mix it up. But yeah, I'm glad we got reservations.
Yeah.
I'm glad we ate. I'm glad we ate there. It was a fun time.
And kind of the themes, the days we were down there, we started with the a hot tootie tartare, which also had watermelon, avocado, cucumber, sesame seeds, and a truffle yazoo sauce. Yazoo sauce?
Yeah, and the way it was served, so it was sort of like this, jambalaya, if you will, of the rest of the ingredients served on top of the raw fish slices, and you got such a blast of flavor from all the ingredients. Very well done. Yummy.
And then I got the bucatini alla Adriata, which was pasta, sautéed shrimp, creamy tomato sauce, arugula. Delicious. Shrimp was perfectly done.
No, I think
it was just absolutely wonderful.
I think you just butchered.
I just butchered that word. You'll learn quickly. I can butcher any word. That's why I call myself Meg. It was easy. 3 letters. He's laughing at me. I could remember what you had. Did you get the burger?
I did get the burger. So a lot of the reviews that we saw on the way down there, there were several places that serve burgers on site. I won't say a burger's my go-to, but I really love a good burger. And everybody kept raving about the burgers at the Atlantic. So I was like, I'll try the burger at the Atlantic. And it was amazing. Everything about it, the patty, the bun, the way it was prepared, the way it was presented. Yeah, definitely full of yum.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a sit-down restaurant in the parks, for going back to your room, for dinner, for lunch, whatever, this is a definite solid choice. But to give you an idea of pricing, the tuna was $18, my meal was $28. I think your burger was like $21. But
Yeah,
we spent,
this would be high to low $3 sign
yeah,
kind
because
of
we
establishment.
spent the same amount of money at the Atlantic that we did on just hors d'oeuvres at the Helios,
Oh,
right?
that's true. It did
The bar
run down about
Helios.
the same.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
just, but we got a full meal and an appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the big difference
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. So we're going to do our wrap up overview of Universal's Celestial Park.
Uh, Basic facts that I guess we never really got into in either one was it covers 25 acres. I think we said it went right down the center. What I find interesting is that it's got 22 separate little gardens in the area, which when we were there had the beginnings of walkways. Some of them were closed off, some of them were open, but I'm looking forward to going back and exploring those more.
Yeah, I mean, what really surprised me, I guess, the most about Celestial was all the vegetation. I mean, it's a new park. You expect there to be a certain sparseness, but it was very, very lush. 400,000 plants, I think somebody said. Uh, Incredible the size of some of the trees. Again, being such a new park. And that's another thing that kind of struck me as we were wandering around. It's a different take on the amusement park. It really puts the park back in amusement park for me. It had a great feel to it. I loved the convenience. As you were mentioning, so many places to eat. No shortage of variety. Two great stores. They got the Sensorium Emporium and the Other Worlds Mercantile, both with lots of interesting Universal and park merch. And then if Christmas is your thing, they have the North Star Wintry Wonders, which is all things universally Christmas.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. And, it's also where you're going to go to get your ice cream at Frosty Moon. You got your pizza there. You've got two great pubs in the Plastered Owl and Bar Zenith, which are both outdoors walk-up bars. Two great indoor bars with eateries, the Oak Star and the Meteor Astro Pub. It's just a great place. I mean, if we lived down there and had, APs, I could see spending nights and not just going down there and hanging out. And something I've just learned is they've just recently started keeping this area of the park open an hour later than the rest of the world's.
Yeah, which is great because you have the two rides. You have the Constellation Carousel, and you have what's the dueling roller coaster?
Stardust Racers.
Stardust Racers. So you have those two rides there. But more importantly, I think, as we mentioned previously, at night, the park is just phenomenal. The synchronization of all the lighting and the sound, the fountain show, and the fountains are going off all day long. But it's just a very interesting, neat, and wonderful 25 acres. I found it fascinating.
And you need to, at one point, watch the fountain show from the main fountain. But at one point, you also need to, when it starts, start walking from the main fountain to the other end. Because the show is occurring through the entire land. All of the fountains become timed to the music. All of the lights become timed to the music throughout the entire land. So you're getting bits and pieces of the big finale shows no matter where you are in the land.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, when we took it in that one night, we were stationary. We were all the way down by the Helios, and that's where the largest pool is. But as we were looking down towards the other end of the park, towards Atlantic, you could see all these different light shows going on within these individual ponds, if you will, with the fountains. And I love the way that some of the fountains are static, but some of them are mechanized. And I thought they did a really, really neat job of throwing water around in an artistic manner. Some of the creations between the way the fountains were pushing water and the way the lights were going off and the way the sound was sort of supporting all of that. It was very neat. Very cool.
No, the fountains are great, and especially since, they thought they were done at one point, and during the last hurricane in Florida, they lost all the fountains to the hurricane, and 6 inches of mud, they all got raised out of the ground, and they had to kind of start over again. So I think they did an amazing job, and it really is just a beautiful land. And it's a gateway, and it connects, and it connects all the lands, because these lands are so different as we will go through them all, and it just makes it a cohesive park by having this non-IP, out of somebody's imagination land going down the middle.
Right, and one visitor was quoted as saying that when they came from Isle of Burke back into Celestial Park, it was literally like stepping from one world into this magical park-like setting. A really neat place.
So I think that is all for this evening. So, as it goes, I am Meg.
I'm Rob.
And we are 2 gray mice.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you for spending time with us today. Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And for all your travel needs, please reach out to Meg, megandthemouse.com. Have a magical week.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.